Hello there, welcome to the Broke Dan channel, where we start broke, but we don't stay that way. This video is just me putting together the first 4 weeks of our series, so enjoy the first month of Broke Dan.
You might ask, Dan, what are you doing? It's 8 p.m. Where could you possibly be driving? I am driving to move sand and concrete for little to no money. You want to know why? Because we're desperate. Starting with pennies, buying the tools we need, getting the jobs we need, learning the skills we need, until eventually, folks, we will not be Broke Dan anymore. Welcome to the Broke Dan channel.
So some guy had some block layers coming, and he needed all this sand and concrete unloaded, and he paid us $80 to do it.
Big success. Made a quick $80. The only problem is it's 9:15 right now, and I have to go to my other job at 3 a.m. I think it's against the rules where I work to say where I work, but I generally work from like 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. So all the side hustle stuff that you're gonna see in this video, it's basically after I've already worked a 7-hour shift-ish. The job today is a collapsed shelf. Look, people, we gotta start somewhere. I did tell him, hey, for shorter jobs, I charge a lot in the beginning, but the more you ask me to do, the more I'm gonna make it worth it. Right now, they're actually compiling a list of different things that they need me to do around there. So I'm gonna go do it.
So I was able to haggle this drill down to $20, crusty old drill. Also, this battery, it's all dirty, but I got it for $30. And then this charger for $15, such a good price.
Right, we get this bag from Ace Hardware of stuff, and we're gonna head back to the job site.
And here we've got the leaning tower of shelves. What am I doing with my life? So naturally, I've piled some crap underneath it to get the shelf back to where it needs to be. And actually, I think this metal right here is gonna insert into this notch when I start to screw it together. So this might be a lot simpler than I thought. Alright, so I screwed the bloody thing into the wall, and I added this bracket on the bottom as well. Yo, low-key, the whole thing just kind of came together after that. So, as you can see here, the thing's bloody straightened up now, and the customers love it. The customer also had me replace this water filter in their fridge and move this latch down just a little bit so this gate would engage. And for an hour's work, under $20. Next customer's house, we were pressure washing. Customer was a real gem, let me use their washer. Also, they had this leaking spigot they needed fixed. I used a push to connect, no tools needed.
So this morning, we're going to repair a door. A door. Now, look, is there really that much money in repairing a door? Probably not. But you know, early on, you've got to take what you can get. Because you know what? Look. Lady's like, hey, I need my door fixed. Tomorrow, she needs a new house built.
Look at this goofy looking door window frame McJiggy. All warped and stuff from the sun, I reckon. Looks like something out of Dr. Seuss book. Lucky break, we found some screw holes that are gonna make it open up real nice and easy. Now we gotta pry it right here. Get that thing out, it's glued, and there it is.
Alright, now it's off to Lowe's to go find a new frame or something that, yikes. I didn't realize how hard it'd be to steer with that thing in my head, but yeah, I gotta get a new one of these. Whatever this is. Frame, it's called a frame.
Honestly, y'all, I had to like desperately get this door done fast, so I don't have many footage of it. Here's the finished product. Oh, and they paid me $140 to do it. All right, we're now heading into a job where they need some rafters painted. It's a bit of a strange job, and honestly, after seeing the rafters, I think I may have underquoted it. So there's these 3 rafters in here, exposed rafters. Looks pretty cool, but yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a pain to paint. Ha! Does that rhyme? No, that doesn't really rhyme. Also, we had to buy a ladder. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do a time-lapse of me painting this thing, because there's no audio. No audio when you do a time-lapse, you know? What do I even talk about? Yo, it's become painfully aware to me while standing on this ladder that I am getting overweight. So I'm a low-key try and drop some weight, too. So I maybe we'll document that. I don't know. This has been my complaint. The painting is going well. So I got my brush right here, and dude, there's these apexes up here that are just getting increasingly dangerous to paint. So anyways, I'm gonna tape my brush onto a stick. How about that, people? All right, let's see how this contraption works. That's ingenuity right there, people. God save the queen. We might be geniuses. Here is the finished product. They look much better painted. That is a wrap for week 1. Day 5, there is going to be no day 5, just because I want to spend some time with my family. And we're about to give birth, so I want to hang out with my wife, go on a couple dates between here and birth. So day 5, just a family day. And to round out the week, let's look at what tools we got. We got a drill, a battery, a charger, a paintbrush. Clean your paintbrushes, save them, people. You don't need to buy a new paintbrush every single time you do a job. Also, we got this pole. Can you believe that this customer was just going to throw this pole away? Ridiculous. We also got a really nice ladder. So after taking our income, subtracting $275 for tools and the material money, we come up with a profit of $336.52. And for those of you who have struggled through this video, thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time on the Broke Dan channel. Look, I've already started it for a little bit, but basically there was this big hump over here. Originally, I was gonna charge them $150 because I thought I needed to bring gravel, because most of the gravel washed away from this spot right here. We're just gonna take a rake and a shovel and put that gravel back. I'm weed eating like crap because I'm holding a camera, but we found this weed eater, haggled it down to $80, and they threw in a gas can. Customer paid us $120. A person has an AC unit that is not working. Hopefully we can use science and raw thinking power to get this AC unit fixed. Lovely, a light switch. Not so lovely, spider webs. Start by taking this thing apart. The bit and the drill set us back $100. Look at this thing, it's all iced over. That can mean two things. It's low on Freon, or there's no air moving over it. At first we thought it was this doohickey, but using this electrical tester we figured out, nope, it is the motor. So we replaced that motor really quick. Sorry that I didn't get any footage of it. And we ended up cleaning this unit here, and we charged $60 to clean units. Where is the best place to find these jobs? These just random jobs. Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, these Facebook groups, it's just full of local people who are just annoyed of dealing with big companies, and they just want you, the little guy, to come get you cheddar. At this job, we're going to be fixing a leaning 4x4, so we start by screwing this in the ground. Oh yeah, well that's in there deep. Then we loop a steel cable through that thing we put in the ground. Next, we're going to use this wrench to tighten this screw in, because it's what we have. And we're going to start to get frustrated, because holding a camera and working sucks. You know, it's so hard to video. I'm just going to show you all the finished product. All right, so now that we've got it linked up, we can go ahead and tighten this right here. We've got this screwed through this, to that 2x4, and even into the 4x4 there. We're doing this for a customer from last week, because moving the latch didn't do the trick. We needed to pull the 4x4. Let's see if this thing closes regularly now. Oh! They also had 2 more filters for us to replace. Yo, I don't know who tightened these things, but they were stupid on there. They also had a new faucet that they wanted us to put in, so here's some footage of me doing that. I guess while I do this, I can talk about, hey, you know what? I've been eating slightly better. I've been getting slightly less fat. Somehow we got another job. A laundry room renovation, of all things. You know, I F with it. People lately have been really into laundry room renovations, but finally somebody wants us to do them. Us, the little fish. Broke Dan. I hate that I got such a crappy picture to show you, but they want a vanity and butcher block there, and then another butcher block there to kind of create an L. Thankfully, the customer paid for all the material beforehand. We need 113 inches of this thing to remain, so we're going to go ahead and cut it. We don't have a saw. This saw was so effing loud, but this is a good chance for me to say, if you're still watching this video, I love you. Next, we've got to wipe all the sawdust off of it. And for that, we're going to literally use the shirt off of my back. Should do the trick. In this time lapse, pretty much we're going to be putting down a conditioner so that the stain goes in evenly, and then we're going to put 2 different layers of stain on this thing to kind of get perfectly what we want. We want this butcher block to match the customer's floor, and here is the finished product. I still have to wipe this off after about 15 minutes and then put the polyurethane coat on it, but honestly, it is matching the customer's house super duper well. Here's more of me talking over this super loud saw, and now we're going to be marking the next piece of butcher block for the sinkhole that we're going to cut into it. We're doing a majority of the cut by dipping our circular saw into it and finishing the cuts out that way. Again, this thing is so effing loud that I'm just going to talk through the clips of me cutting with it. And then we had to finish off those edges with a jigsaw that costed us 45 buckaroos. I will say sometimes it's really nice to have corded tools because they're super powerful.
Ahoy!
Next, we move on to the sanding portion. We found this solid little sander at the flea market for $50, and we just got to make sure that we get all those edges clean right there for the inside of the sink, and we really have to make sure we sand away the blade marks. Alright, next we're going to put layer by layer the same stain that we did on the first piece, so that not only does it match the first piece, but it also matches the customer's flooring. Honestly, I should have worn a mask because the fumes are starting to get to me. Not that I have that many brain cells left to kill anyways. Let me know in the comment, what have you done to kill brain cells? Alright, so I don't have a camera person, but I do have this butcher block here.
It's heavy. I can't. Yikes! Oh, it's heavy. Oh, man. Ouch. The sink is actually pretty well centered on the window, which was the plan. So now we just have to center this vanity to match.
Well, none of that mattered, because we had to take the butcher block off anyways. This sink that the customer wanted is pretty big, so we had to put it on first, and then the butcher block back on top. Here's this piece that goes into the sink. And now we drill a hole for where our faucet's going. We get our water supplies hooked up to that faucet we just put in, and the next, we're gonna have to do the drain. Honestly, the drain on here was a pain. After enough off-camera fiddling around and cursing, here is the finished product. Sorry that it's such a terrible photo. It was a lot of work, but we made $950 in the end. Show us the hole in the wall. It is day 5. We've got this piece of drywall cut out here, and we're also going to need to cut some battens to match this interior side. Here on the outside, it's just taping, mudding, and finishing and painting. Here is the finished product. When that paint dries, you're not going to ever tell there was a hole in the wall. So guys, obviously a huge highlight from this week has been the new tools we've got. Here's the sander and the jigsaw. We got a skill saw. We got a measuring tape. I don't know how we made it this long without a measuring tape. But I mean, we just got like all types of tools. And, you know, the more tools that we have now, it opens us up to do so many more types of jobs. Our profit this week was somehow $16.84 and 59 cents. We spent almost $700 on tools, giving us a total of $987.19. 2 weeks, we've made $1,323.71, averaging $661.85 a week. Also, I lost 3 pounds. Welcome back to week 3 of Broke Dan. This is the biggest job we've taken on yet. As you can see, the lower 2 feet of these walls have been removed because of flood damage. We're going to drywall it. We're going to finish it. We're going to paint it. And there's a couple of other things we're going to do along the way. So we're insulating this wall right here. I've already got one piece in and whoa! Whoa! Is that light coming through? We're going to go seal that up too before we put some insulation there. These pre-cut pieces of drywall we are then going to flip up and put on there. Whoa, we got in that quickly. We're all insulated here, buddy. Looky there, that there insulation. Now to start with electric, you definitely want to turn off the breaker wherever you're working. Now since there's already drywall here and we've got this wire poking out, we are going to use one of these retrofit outlet boxes. And basically the way that you use these... Oh, whoa! So you'll cut something that is the width and height of this box, not including these tabs. As I tighten this screw right here, I didn't even tighten it at all, this arm pops out and it is catching onto the back of this drywall. And it's tensioning it to the drywall. We did have a stud available right here, but also we had one of these sockets already, and why waste the time running to the store? Now it's time to put an outlet in that there box. We curl these things, we screw them in, both sides. Alright, more voiceover stuff. Here's me putting that drywall up, screwing it in and whatnot. Hey guys, don't be tricked. I'm not actually this quick. It is a time lapse. I know, Y'all might think I'm just this quick. No, it is a time lapse. So we've got all this drywall put up here. Next, we got some ASMR. We call this Dirty Dan's Drywall Debauchery. Enjoy. Let's see if this thing fits like a glove. I guess it does fit like a glove. OJ's glove. Boom. I mean, this cut was a little uneven here on the drywall from the demo guys, but a little bit of tape and mud will fix it right up, eh? Well, would you look at these lazy mother effers? I mean, they just tore out everything but that right there. Boom, we're gonna slice it there. Throw in a new piece. We ended up just taking off the tank so that it's better to access. 3 minutes to take that tank, freaking grab my basin here, let the water leak into it. 3 minutes can avoid you like 20 extra minutes of mudding around that bowl and crap. Bro, this blade is stupid dull. Now we're cooking. Oh, now we're cooking. I have got to poo so bad, and I cannot do it without the tank. Like, I am prairie dogging at this point, so I just got to get this done super quickly. All right, in this clip, we're taping a corner. You put some mud in there. You put the tape over it. You put mud over that. You make sure it's smooth. Pretty simple. And here we're going to be putting our 45-minute coat of mud on. These walls are pretty rough, so we're going to have to do probably 2-3 coats. What's up, folks? It's me, Dan, back at work. I am just going to show you... Unfortunately, I have made the mistake of just doing a lot of crap off of camera. I will admit, I'm not the greatest at drywall, but I am getting a lot better, folks. I kid you not, after a good sanding, this is gonna look real nice. More drywall mudding that has gone down. You know, I gotta tell you, for someone who's barely done drywall, I am getting rapidly better. Whether it's by YouTube, learning from my pops, here's kind of a rundown. This stuff has all only gotten its first coat, so as you can see, there's some rougher spots here. This house has some of the strangest framing I have ever seen. You know, you probably can't see it off of the camera, but this wall is not a 90-degree angle. Neither is that wall. There's a huge bump right here. Like, if I put the camera flat to it, I know it's hard to see, but here's the regular wall and here's the wall below. Next, we're getting started on some board and batten that our customers wanted to put in on this fireplace wall. Oh my gosh. Now we're gonna take this piece, put plenty of glue behind it. Send plenty of nails through. You probably can't see it in the camera, but I did mark with a pencil the line that the batten in the middle is gonna go down. So if we just nail it all along there as well, that batten is going to hide it. Perfect. All right, here's the finished product. It just needs to be primed and painted, and that there board and batten wall is supposed to match that there board and batten wall. And now that this side is finished... Oh, wait! We already finished the other side! Oh, plot twist! You know, I kind of like having this one on the handle here, especially since all the drywall repairs are pretty low. Now y'all can just imagine me sanding for a very long time. I need a vacuum for all this dust. Whoa, look at that clearance. Unfortunately, they were all sold out, so I convinced them to let me buy the display.
You know, I was gonna settle for a rigid, same price, but the good Lord provides. Oh yeah, look at that sucker back there.
Now, it's time to paint this place. As always, we start with our cuts, and eventually we're gonna move to rolling the walls. Now it's time for a painting montage. We're definitely not going to finish all the painting this week, so I'll continue next week. Unless my wife has a baby. She is super pregnant right now. Also, I've lost 6 pounds since I started trying a couple weeks ago. This has been the painting montage. So the profit for this week was $20.54 because we just finished the drywall. Tools, we spent $512.77 for a total of $1,541.99. That brings us up to a 3-week side hustle total of $28.65.70, netting us $955.23 a week. I know this may have seemed like a boring week because we were just basically a drywaller for a week. But you know what? Drywallers are good people too. Not that y'all said they were bad. Bye. So, this happened. His name is Henry. I also got 2 other vermin at home. Look at them, so precious. And with my wife just giving birth, we need to stay here and tend to her and the children. But who said we can't make some money from home? In this bin, I'm gonna collect junk to take to the flea market next week. I found this bag right here. I was gonna throw it in the flea market pile. This might be an eBay item. Thankfully, we've got a lot of extra boxes. That's going to help us keep this stuff organized. So we got this nice stove right here for free. Unfortunately, I got some parts to fix it and they did not work, which honestly is a win-win because we'll clear up some space and hopefully get a buck or 2 for scrap metal. Got some more scrap here. Plugged it in, not working. Deceptively heavy. Oh, the shelf came out. There we go. Broken tablecloth. Also, the leaves are down, but there's like random metal and crap everywhere on this property. Alright, so we got a time lapse of me cleaning up some stuff. Why are we cleaning up this stuff? For one, it opens up usable space on our property. For 2, there's really good random goodies hidden in there, like seats and stuff. And also, we're gonna get some extra scrap metal to take to the dump. Nestled in all that crap and vines, we found some chairs. Someone will give us $40 for these suckers. I even found 4 paddles in there. These 2 big bags here, they're full of cans. Unfortunately, the cans aren't crushed. We got some crusty old weed eaters right here, and we even found 2 car batteries, which they pay more for. That literally took like 20 minutes to load up, and it's just crap from around the house that's just gonna sit here. Especially if you guys are like kind of like a redneck like me. You probably got crap laying around, no offense. Long time ago at a yard sale, I picked up this box of goodies right here for $5. I'm gonna rifle through it today and see if any of it's good. Maybe we'll put some on eBay. Some of them are in pretty rough shape, as you can see here. Look at all that crust. I've seen on eBay that these are selling for $15 pretty consistently. If we sell even one of them, we've already made our money back. Some little children's phone of sorts. Whoa! Holy crap, this thing still works! Oh my... I'm not gonna bore you guys with me listing stuff on eBay, so this is me here to tell you, I love you. Some of these hose controllers in here are awfully fancy. I mean, look at this thing, it's got all those friggin' spouts. Hopefully throughout the week, some of this crap sells, you know? This weird thing in our garage that holds wine, it's kinda sick, it's way too fancy for our place. Facebook Marketplace. Whoa, we got some martini glasses. Let's go. Also, yo, Crate and Barrel. I'm pretty sure that's a good company. Where have these gems been hiding? Throw it on Marketplace. Look at this. We found, like, baby's first sink. Look how tiny this sink is. It's so precious. Look at that. This is my hand compared to the sink. Now, to be fair, I do have freakishly large hands. Post that sucker. Hey, another cleaning montage. So basically, I'm trying to get all this crap out of the way, because if you can kind of see there in the middle, there's this dresser, and I want to list it on Marketplace. I got to get some nice photos. Whoa, look at how those turned out. All that cleaning, you know? Old record player I don't need, sell it. Interesting looking lamp, sell it. Some old floodlights, sell them. Pedestal sink, sell it. What in the what is this doing here? What in the communism? Literally, what did I just... This is a gem. This is a keeper. I ain't selling this. I wanted to clean up some space closer to the back of the garage, because I feel like every single time I'm cleaning, I'm just taking things and moving them from one place to another. And I feel like if I actually have this area cleaned out back here, I would have some shelves to permanently store things on. So that's pretty much our goal here. Although with 3 kids, I feel like all of my storage is now dedicated to diapers and wipes. There's diapers everywhere. I swear, look at this. More diapers. More diapers.
We're not even done having kids yet, so soon this whole garage is gonna be full of diapers and wipes and strollers. Look, stroller, a car seat base, a double bassinet because our first children were twins. And what do we have here, dude? Apparently, this is a trim removal set for automobiles. You know, it kind of looks like the toolkit from that one show about the killer who kills killers. Y'all know? Well, that was weird. Also got this pedestal that goes to that sink we found earlier. It looks a lot better over here. So basically, it's nice to get the back cleared up first, because then you feel like you got space to actually store stuff. Now a lot more of this crap that we just kind of keep moving around, we can actually find a proper place for. I also found this binder. I wonder if it has a little one here, if that makes these any more valuable or something. These are still in the plastic, maybe they're worth something. Also, here's some separate ones. Now these are shiny. There's a whole bunch of these. There's whole piles like that. Y'all, I'm just playing stupid. I know people like Pokemon, because I like Pokemon. But you know what? Let's get rid of the cards. Let's throw it back into the business, grow that money. So guys, it was a successful week. A lot of those money-making actually those Pokemon cards, those sold stupid quick. But a lot of those things that we put on Marketplace, those are going to sell over time. And next week, we're going to be hauling the bins of crap that we collected for the flea market to the flea market. We're going to see how that sells. As always, people, thank you for tuning in.